So we put an offer in on 165 acres, and it was just accepted a few days ago.
Hello, everyone. Today we're talking about Sister Wives Season 19, Episode 18. It is titled Money is the Root of All Evil, and it may very well be my favorite episode for Christine and Janelle ever. I also think this may very well be my favorite episode of this season. I just thought there was so much happening for Mary, Janelle, and Christine. I really liked it. I liked that we were finally digging into some of the stuff about the property. I just felt like this was a good one. Because of that, I'm going to split this up into two videos. Today, I'm going to talk about Janelle and Christine, and tomorrow I'm going to put out a video where I talk about Mary's part of the show as well. But today, I just want to start out with those two because I loved what was going on with them. Let's start out with Janelle. We find out that she is going to be getting that property with Maddie in North Carolina, 165 acres. That is huge, you guys. They are going to be flower farmers, which we know is one of Janelle's dreams. She has always wanted to farm. She likes to garden. So this is her dream coming true. I've just been waiting to hear this during this season. You know, social media lets us know what's happening. It is sort of like when I'm watching it, I'm anticipating certain things during the season. And I feel like this was one of them. You know, she hasn't had a big storyline this season. You know, there are episodes where they really don't show that much of her, specifically when we were focusing on Christine's wedding. With that out of the way, I think we're just going to get more of the other stuff that's going on, and I'm excited for that. I'm excited to hear what's happening with Janelle. Of course, Janelle wants to share this news with Christine, so her and Maddie do a Zoom call with Christine, and they share the news. And this leads to a conversation about another property. Of course, that property is Coyote Pass. Janelle tells Christine that it is paid off, but they've really gotten no news from Cody. He's not communicating about what's going on. I said I wasn't going to talk about Mary in this video, but I have to a little bit here because she's involved. Mary at one point had sent an email to both Janelle and Cody about the property. She basically was questioning what they were going to be doing. And Janelle responds, and then Cody responds. He responded by saying he was talking to the right people. That was his very, very vague answer. That gives them nothing. It doesn't tell them who he's talking to, what he's talking about, what his plan is. That is nothing at all. So Janelle realized at that point it was time for her to get an attorney. I really truly believe that Janelle just wants this over with. I think she wants money. She wants what she deserves, but I don't think she wants to hold out to get some exuberant amount of money. I think she just wants what she feels she is entitled to and then to walk away from it. I imagine it would be insanely frustrating dealing with Cody when he's not being a complete jerk, but when he talks about Janelle, you can tell he is going to be one. He thinks she's out to get him, and I think she's out to be done with him.
No. She thinks about screwing me over all the time.
During the last episode, when I was watching it and then I did the recap, I talked about how I felt like Cody was doing better than he was doing in the previous seasons. But then we get to this part of the show and I'm like, nope, all of that anger is still there. It's just not focused on Christine now. He seems to be moving it over to Janelle.
If Janelle could come after me over alimony and child support or anything, she'd do it.
Yep, that would be so greedy of her to have you pay child support, have you pay for your children. Yeah, that would just be craziness, right? Janelle would be so greedy. Okay, I just want to be clear that I was being sarcastic. I was trying really, really hard to make it clear too. I hope it worked.
Oh yeah, she's got nothing but, oh God, how could I him?
So there it is. I was wrong again. I try to be fair with Cody. I try to give him the opportunity to be decent. And then he just brings back the old angry Cody. I was wrong. All of you who said I was wrong, you guys were right. Now let's switch over to talking about Christine. She's got some big stuff going on in her life too. When she is talking to Janelle, she shares that They have bought a house in Moab and they're going to be using it as a short-term rental. During this part of the show, Christine brings up a huge issue I have with polygamy. I mean, I have a lot of issues with it, but one of the things that would have drove me absolutely mad if I was in this family was the fact that when you want to make a decision in your life, it never just involves you and your partner, but it involves those 3 other people. So when you want something, you can't just decide to do it and have your partner agree with you. You have to go convince all of the other people that are married to your partner to go along with it too, and I think that sounds like an absolute nightmare. She also talks about how Cody was in charge of their finances. Even though he would act like they were all making the decision together, he would find a way to ruin it and break the person down to the point that they would change their mind. I'm going to put a clip in of Christine talking about it here.
With Cody, with finances, it would always have to just be his way. It was his way, otherwise he would talk to you about it ad nauseum forever and ever and ever and ever and ever until he just got sick of it and gave in.
So there you have it, another fine example of Cody being manipulative and coercive when it came to their finances, which is the exact reason that Janelle and Mary need to get an attorney or attorneys and make sure he is not continuing to manipulate them. Later in the episode, we see Christine, David, and some of their kids load furniture that they have bought for the house in Moab into a truck that they will be taking to that new house. Christine brings up the fact that the family often moved, and sometimes she doesn't even know why they were moving. Yeah, we don't understand either. We have theories. There's a lot of suspicions, specifically about that move from the houses in Vegas to Flagstaff. That was a dumb move. We don't really understand it. I would love just some very clear answers from Cody and Robin about that. I don't think I've ever heard them specifically admit that they were following a child to their university and uprooting their whole family and changing their whole lives over it. But I would love for them to acknowledge that. I don't expect that we'll ever get real, honest answers from them. We do find out that when it came to Christine and David getting this new house, Christine did it all on her own. David never even went to see it. He put all of his faith into Christine. He completely trusted her to do it, which is something she would have never experienced with Cody.
With the realtor, and next thing you know, I like the house. I said, cool.
So he just went on trust. Thanks, babe.
No, I trust you. I believe that you know what you're doing.
Look at Christine's face there. She is so happy, and I am so happy for her. And this makes me like David more and more. Like, this episode made me really like David more than I have in the previous episodes. And it wasn't that I didn't like him. I just, like, I don't know. It felt like the wedding stuff was a bit more scripted, and I don't know. It was just we weren't seeing who they really were together. This episode changed some of that. I thought their office was adorable. I thought that setup was so cute. Just want to throw that out there as well. But yeah, I liked David a lot after seeing all of this. During Christine's part of the show, we also get to hear from Peyton. He does a confessional where he talks about how his dad, Cody, liked to be in charge of things. And now that his mom is with David, she can do these things on her own. So Cody's not going to come in and take over the situation. David is good at stepping back and supporting Christine, but still letting her do her own thing. Of course, TLC knows an opportunity when it's there, so they know this is a great time to talk about the businesses that the Brown family has had in the past. And so they reflect on My Sister Wife's Closet. They end up having confessionals from Cody and Robin. Robin's is really brief. She just says that she started it. But Cody, of course, has a lot more to say. He brings up the fact that they were supposed to all be in on it. They were supposed to all be there working together, but it was really more of Robin's thing. He said Mary stepped up with Robin, but he admits that the rest of them, including himself, they weren't really that involved. Now, from my perspective, watching it, I felt like they tried to help, and I'm talking about Janelle and Christine. They tried to help. They did their part, but truthfully, they weren't that interested in it. I think they were pressured into being involved in it, and then they just didn't share the same enthusiasm that Robin did. I also think it was really a bizarre plan. They were trying to use the momentum of the show to start this jewelry business, but there is absolutely nothing about Sister Wives and polygamy that makes me want to run out and buy jewelry and buy clothes. I don't associate them at all. I don't think that they were very stylish or fashionable. There was nothing about that that made me want to go buy jewelry. I don't think the name of the business was a good idea. I honestly think if Robin was interested in jewelry design, she should have pursued some sort of education in that and maybe just went out and started her own small business and just said, I'm Robin Brown and I like to design jewelry. I think that would have went better than actually including the other wives and trying to run with them being on the show. Talking about my sister wife's closet leads to them talking about businesses that have started within the family. And Janelle says her most successful business is one that she started herself. It was her own thing. It's her own extra stream of income. She says Cody would sometimes say that they all did it together, so they should all share the income. But she doesn't feel that way. She did it on her own. She doesn't want to share that income. But this is what Cody has to say.
I mean, listen, we put the money where we could, when we could.
So I'm going to stop that scene right there because he is saying we put the money where we could, when we could, implying that sometimes they couldn't fund certain things. And it makes you wonder, did they give money to Janelle or not? It's very possible they gave no money to Janelle when she started this business venture. But he continues on, and this is what he says next.
And we funded all these things. We did it together. Janelle left, and she took that with her, and she took the profits with her. We're not getting any of that, but we helped fund it.
So this man doesn't have to pay child support, didn't have to pay alimony, didn't have to divide assets, nothing when she divorced him, and he is possibly wanting the profit from her plexus cells because he says they paid into it. Listen, I just went over to the Plexus website. I'm sure there are more costs than this, but it says it's $34. Hold on. Let me double check that before I say it, so I'm being fair. $39.95 to become a brand ambassador. I'm sure there are other fees. I'm not going to sit here and say there aren't because I know MLMs are notorious for having other costs and for being things that, it's a business plan that doesn't really make much money for most of the people. As a matter of fact, if you've watched those documentaries, a lot of people are losing money, but it seems to work for Janelle. Let's say it cost her $300 to start her plexus business. Is Cody Brown really thinking that was a big investment and now he's entitled to all of her profits? And again, he doesn't pay child support? This is one of the greediest things I think I've ever seen. With all of that being said, if you guys can think of another business that he might be referring to, let me know down in the comments. It is not uncommon for me to just completely forget things. And a great example of that is the fact that I was saying in my last recap that I don't recall Cody being a logger, and then all of you were like, yes, he was a logger. They talked about it in the book. You guys, I have read that book more than one time and made all those videos on it. I did chapter by chapter videos. I don't recall the part about him being a logger. So I forget things a lot. If there's another business that makes more sense, something else that Cody might be talking about, let me know down in the comments. I just can't think of anything that she's doing now that I'm aware of that Cody would think he deserves the profit for. I think Plexus has been going on for quite a while, but she does the shirt thing now where she sells the shirts with the quotes from the show. That's recent. He wasn't talking about that. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you can think of another business. And let me know what you thought about Janelle and Christine in this episode. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Cody was awful. They were awesome. I'm excited for them. I'm looking forward to seeing them do this stuff on the show. Them starting their business. And then Mary's still out there with her B&B trying to start that wellness thing. I don't know if it's going to work, but I still love that they're doing stuff without Cody and they're not looking to him for permission or approval, or they're not trying to get Robin on board. And they all look so good. They look better without Cody. But that is it for this video. I'm going to put out a video tomorrow where I talk more about Mary. I felt like she had her own thing going on, so that will be out tomorrow. I hope you guys come back for it. And if you like this video, click like and subscribe. And yeah, I hope you'll come back to Happily Ever Reality.